He didn't know how long he'd floated endlessly in that void. He tried counting to keep track of time, and gave up somewhere around 100 million and something. By that point, he was so sick of numbers that he couldn't stand counting anymore. After the counting, he decided to think of making magic items, tools, weapons, armor, and various other enchanted things. Once he got bored of just thinking about them and not actually making them, he started thinking about golems of various shapes and materials. Then he thought about automatons. He even came up with a design shaped like a crab, something that could assist with equipment repairs. Before he could get too excited, he remembered that he couldn't actually make anything now. But he needed to keep his mind busy. He needed something, anything to focus on. Floating aimlessly in the void, he could feel his mind slipping. It was like madness was creeping in from sheer boredom. Being locked away with his own thoughts felt like hell. He believed his name was...
Fuck! Did I forget my name again? I just got it back! Or at least I thought it was recently. Okay, we got this. Let's just start from the beginning. Alright, last things I remember, I was in an alley. I was hurt. I was angry at a lot of things. Life was hard, and I'm not completely sure why. The next thing was... Oh, come on, you know this! You woke up in a workshop. Yes! Okay, yes. Oh, that's right. It was a workshop, and there was an older man. Oh, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
He thought to himself, feeling a strange melancholy at the thought of the old man. He tried to remember the old man's name. Maybe he could talk to him once he got out. Yet, as he struggled to recall it, nothing came. His failed attempt to make him want to weep at the profound sense of loss, but he couldn't linger on those thoughts.
You can focus on that later. One problem at a time. We need to remember our name. Alright, the old man taught me a lot of things. Do I remember those things? Okay, yes I do. Holy fuck, I do! Wow, that's a lot of stuff that he taught me. Was I a scholar or something? No matter, I feel so sad for not knowing his name. Okay, wait, nope, stop. Focus. The old man taught me and took me in. He treated me like I was his kid. I studied very hard and became a fabricator. I made my own shop and I made... Oh, wow! I made some really cool stuff! Yeah, that's right. I was a fabricator, and I was a really good one. The old man and I worked on stuff together. We made magic items. Yeah, and we made life better for people.
Elation began to build as the memories came in clearer now. Still no name, but that was all right. It would come to him. He wanted to dive deeper, to get more answers. From what he could tell, he had been freaking awesome before he ended up in the void.
We got what I did! Damn, I want to do that again! No wonder I've been feeling the need to do something. Okay, so I was a crafter, and I used a bit of magic to make magic items. I was invited by the old man to make something very special called a dungeon core. Wait, dungeon core. Holy fuck on a stick! We worked on making a dungeon core! Those things were insanely powerful and they made loot! God dang, we were fucking awesome! No. Focus. Right, so we made it, and we found it needed a lot of magic to turn on. We were going to power it on, and then...
He paused, remembering with sharp, bitter clarity. Profound hatred filled every part of his being.
That's right. The nearby elves and dwarves betrayed us. They killed everyone, tortured me. They wanted the dungeon core. The old man gave it to me, and I shoved it down my throat so those bastards can find it. Then I killed them. I killed all of them with necromancy, and nothing lived. I made sure of it. They never called me my name, though. they only called me human while in their captivity. I don't remember my name. Maybe I could use a placeholder? Yeah, that would work, at least until I remember the real one. Human. Yeah, that's definitely what I was. No, that's a strange thought. You know what? Let's go with Hugh. That's a good placeholder. Yeah, sounds good.
Just as Hugh was setting his mind to think of something else to stay busy, he felt something change.
Huh? The fuck was that? Hells, when was the last time I felt anything? Was it pain? No, pain was much more unpleasant than that.
He could feel his consciousness spreading, reaching outward until he felt arms and legs, then he felt his head. Yet it didn't feel like his body was forming. It felt like it was filling a space, like a mold. As sensation returned, Who realized he could feel. It was muted, but real. He could feel the stone beneath him. And then he could see. The world exploded into his vision. He found himself lying on the stone floor, everything around him covered in moss or ivy. His body was actually buried beneath it. With a flex of an arm, he burst free and saw the last thing he expected. Above him was a skeletal hand and arm. He stared at it, struggling to process what he was seeing, before trying to flex his fingers. He flexed, turned his hand, twisted his wrist. Who stared at the limb. He couldn't tell if he was more fascinated or freaked out. It had taken him a couple of hours to get up and fully examine his skeletal body. The fact that he could stand, walk, and move with such dexterity, despite lacking muscles, was both unsettling and fascinating. But Who chose not to think too hard about it. He was honestly unsure how he was doing it. Once steady enough, he left the cell, and was immediately filled with a powerful sense of disgust. As he walked the halls, he passed half-broken skeletons, some long and slender, others stout and dense. It didn't take much thought to recognize the species. Had Who still possessed lips, he might have smirked, but the spirits were long gone, so it didn't matter. Eventually, he climbed the final flight of mossy stairs. He emerged into what had once been the town's prison. Furniture lay rotted, damaged by time and wear. Bones were scattered in piles, many of them gnawed on by something. He examined them briefly, more out of curiosity than purpose, but he knew more about craftsmanship than animal signs. So he gave up trying to identify the marks and moved on. Then he caught sight of something, a mirror in the corner of his eye.
Do I even have eyes? Let's find out.
He walked over to the mirror, curious to see what had become of him, and just how bad the damage was. The old mirror was dirty, but still intact enough to see through. What he saw was both surprising and not. He was a full-bodied skeleton. No flesh, no eyes, just bone. And yet he could still see. That alone raised questions. He chose to put that aside. What truly set him apart from the other broken heaps was the glowing stone inside his ribcage. A floating opal, suspended in the center of his chest, emitting a soft, iridescent light. Perfectly smooth, spherical, its surface looked religiously polished. It took him a moment to recognize it. The dungeon core, the one he had forcibly choked down. What surprised Who most was how calm he was. A skeleton with a glowing rock floating in his chest, and somehow it felt fine. He studied himself a bit longer. He tested how far his limbs could bend, twist, or turn. Then he noticed something, a flashing symbol in the corner of his vision.
How did I miss that?
He focused on it, and in that moment a pane like a glass screen filled his vision, glowing with text.
Congratulations! You have successfully bonded with and awakened the Dungeon Core. Time spent to bond with the Core, 916 years. Master of the Dungeon, Jack Smithson.
916 years? Fuck my bony ass! No matter I had a hard time remembering stuff. How the hell am I not insane? So my name is Jack Smithson. I was way off calling myself Hugh.
Before he could process it, another window appeared as soon as he closed the first.
Attention! New quest available. Build thy dungeon. Would you like to see your Dungeon Core menu? Yes. No.
Seeing no reason not to, Jack focused on the word yes. For some reason, it felt like the right thing to do. And just like that, more panes opened up, multiple segments, all organized, clear, accessible. It was convenient and oddly intuitive. Jack was curious how he could understand and operate it so easily. Then again, he wasn't going to question a good thing.
Dungeon Core Sheet. Dungeon Master, Jack Smithson. Race, Lich, formerly human. Dungeon mobs available. Zombie rats, skeleton rats, tin crabs. Dungeon abilities. Mob summoning, mob absorption, reanimate dead, dungeon shaping, dungeon repair, item absorption, item creation. Current loot drop options. Coins, tin, copper, silver. Items, purified bone pieces, refined materials, metal. Special ability unlocked. Avatar of the Master. Create a physical manifestation of the Dungeon Master. The avatar is a lich that can enter and leave the dungeon territory at will, and change forms as the dungeon grows.
He nodded as he read through the menu, then walked over to a mostly intact desk and sat down, resting his bony chin in his palm.
Okay, so I'm a Dungeon Core now, or at least the consciousness of a Dungeon Core. We know my name is Jack, and I have some powers. So far, so good. The body is a lich. Guess that means I'm undead. Kinda cool, I guess. At least I don't have any fleshy bits hanging off of me.
He kept reading, shifting to the next section. This one was more personal, focused entirely on him.
Dungeon Avatar Sheet. Race, Lich. Stats. Strength, 8. Agility, 12. Durability, 14. Intelligence, 27. Wit, 26. Race abilities. Spell casting, life siphoning, curses casting, necromancy affinity, quick study, spell resistance. Spells available. Form and function. Stone needles. Electric bolts. Detect resources. Refinement. Reanimate. Minor detonate. Sickening fog.
Oh, sweet! I can cast spells now! Pew pew! Yeah, that's right. I can cast spells in Chen now. Oh yeah, that's right. Who's the best? I'm the best.
He continued his little victory dance, but eventually he paused, looking down at his ribs, pelvis, and leg bones. If he still had skin, his face would have been crimson.
I mean, there's nothing for anyone to really look at. Or anyone around, I think. Okay, first thing on the to-do list. Make or find pants.